One of the most overlooked components of abdominal training is anti-rotation. Basically trying to resist something from rotating the shoulders away from the hips in a pretty square position. So if my hips are facing you, I would want to try to keep from having that separation where my torso would rotate away from that hip being in center. Oftentimes this is not a part of programming, and there's a few different variations that can be done. I'm going to show a very simple variation with the TheraBand. So if you're doing this at your house, very simply, all you have to do is tie a knot in the TheraBand. So open your door, lay the knot over the doorknob so it kind of stays in place. All you have to do is from there, close it, the knot will catch, and so then it won't pull the TheraBand all the way through the doorway. But then you're going to kind of grab in about shoulder width position and bring it to a centered position. So right here, you'll start to feel the stress where the abdominals need to be able to hold you in place. Now, you can do this as a hold like I'm doing right now. You can do this as a relieved press or progressive dynamic press to where there's less tension when you have it in and then more tension as you have it out, whichever way that you choose to go. But there's a couple of things we need to pay attention to. We don't want to shelf forward here. We want to maintain a good neutral spine position or a good neutral posture position. We want to make sure we're squeezing the glutes and utilizing them to help stabilize the hips so we don't start to torque over or rotate away. And there's the Pallof isolation, which is a hold. So this is something that if your program says to do this for 30 seconds, you're going to grab it, you're going to get as much tension as you need against the band, squeeze the glutes, extend out and hold. If it says 30 seconds, I hope you have a timer or you're really good at counting, and you'll hold it. If you're going to do it as a press variation, there's two different ways you can do this. You can do it as clasping, and so this will keep everything nice and centered here, and you'll go through repetition. So it gets harder as it gets away. You'll pause real quick and then return, or then you can still go into this kind of position where hands are extended kind of like the push-up position. Make sure you don't shrug your shoulders. Make sure we don't flare the elbows out. You want to almost kind of like break it like you're trying to snap some spaghetti. And then eventually this could turn into other transverse exercises for some power. But this is utilizing stress in the transverse plane, which is oftentimes where we have most of our athletic applications, whether it be throwing, whether it be hitting, whether it be just general rotation, jumping, doing 180s, stuff like that. Strength in the transverse plane is really where we start to be able to emit or elicit good force.